Colonel Chase attended the June 6, 1967 meeting with Condon and the other UFO officers, he wrote a summary of the meeting. I don't know who it was sent to, but we do know what it says. As already noted, he wrote the results of the Condon investigation were preordained. Here he writes that there were some 5% of those reports that were very difficult to explain, but that no time was spent discussing them. In fact, there were many other Air Force-related incidents that could have been reviewed by the Condon investigation, but they were also ignored. One was the 1968 incident at a Minuteman launch site near Minot, North Dakota. Major Brad Runyon has testified that while flying a B-52 training mission, he observed a glowing light object that had landed near one of the missile launch facilities. He was later briefed by a general officer that the 20-ton cover for the missile silo had been removed and the perimeter fence crushed. Blue Book Chief Colonel Quintanilla later issued a report that dismissed the sighting as the Star Vega. In fact, Lieutenant Colonel Chase had his own contact with the UFO. In 1957, while flying a training mission in an RB-47 with a full crew, he encountered a UFO over the Gulf of Mexico. This is shown in the track here he took during the 3-hour encounter before landing in Kansas. The object harassed his aircraft the entire time. It flew at very high speeds directly at them before stopping on a dime. It flew circles around them, even disappeared and suddenly reappeared in different locations. Much of this encounter was recorded on radar, both airborne and ground. Of course, the crew witnessed it all. After landing, they were met by AFOSI, who interviewed the crew and took all the recorded evidence. The incident remained highly classified. During the Condon investigation, Chase asked to see the files. It was discovered they were held in the special classified Blue Book files. Until then, it was not known that Blue Book had even had classified UFO files. Of course, the Condon investigators did not have access to those. The incident, not the evidence, was later declassified only after the Air Force issued a decision to not continue to review or comment on UFO incidents. In 1969, the Air Force issued its final resolution of the UFO question. They decided to discontinue all investigations or public comment on reported UFO incidents. They cited specifically the findings of the University of Colorado study under Condon as rationale for that there was no evidence of extraterrestrial objects flying in our airspace or any threat to our national security from such objects. In light of the evidence I presented, this is exactly the self-serving conclusion the Air Force had orchestrated. I must add that the cover-up, disinformation, and extreme secrecy of this phenomenon does not start or end with the Air Force. In my mind, and many others agree, there must be an international secret community or cabal containing the truth of this phenomenon. As early as 1952, Major Don Kehoe, who formed one of the first public UFO groups, suggested the existence of such a group. In a letter from Ray Fowler to Roy Craig, as shown here, he suggested the same. In fact, Craig later invited Fowler to join him in a confidential group studying the UFO question. Fowler declined. I am certainly convinced such a cabal exists. I have even tried to simulate in a sketch how such an organization could be constituted. I go into more speculative details in my book, Unidentified, the UFO Phenomenon.